It's easy to say that Dio is evil in Phantom Blood and leave his character at that, but I think this does him a great disservice. Many aspects of Part 1 have been improved upon in later parts, but the relationship between Dio and Jonathan is still one of the strongest between antagonist and protagonist the series has ever had. After briefly touching upon it in my Phantom Blood review, I've decided to properly talk about what makes it the best part of Phantom Blood. Dio is an asshole through and through when we first meet him, but I don't think he was always like this. He lived in quite poor conditions, but despite this he had a sense of refinement to him, being a prideful person. Loving his mother, he realised that her life was cut short because of his father. She was looked down upon and based off the panels of the two together, lived a hard life till the end. Filled with hatred for Dario, he made a vow to never lose to anyone, to never be in a position like the one of his youth again. Jonathan is one of the most noble characters in the series, but from Dio's point of view, he and his father are everything he despises. To be number 1, Dio becomes quite defensive and can't let any insecurities show. To be the best, he has to believe he is the best. Early in the part, we are seeing the difference between the two boys, and while Jonathan's spirit is commendable, we see that in practice he doesn't seem to be deserving of the position of power that he's in, and the hatred Dio has seems more and more justified when our protagonist's lazy ways are compared to his tenacious nature. The disparity between the two outlines some real growth for Jonathan, which builds up to the point that the battles between them have some real weight behind them as we realise how far both men have come. Jonathan ends up being brought down to Dio's level as he loses his father, his home, everything he ever had is taken away from him, apart from Erina, the one piece of good news in his situation. While he started off flawed, he grew from these hardships to the point that he eventually embodies what he aimed to be as a child, learning and inheriting the will of others while Dio simply used those around him. Seeing Jonathan come back after losing everything makes one of the last developments of the relationship, when Dio respects Jonathan, seem all the more genuine. Using the mask to transcend humanity offered him a lot of ways out, surpassing his limits and allowing him to try and conquer his biggest weakness of his emotions, anger primarily, while Jonathan defied all his expectations. The two's path is so intertwined that there is always going to be some sort of bond once their story comes to an end. Jonathan's death results in the only time in the entire part some sort of friendship can be seen, and I find it to fit the tragic tale of the part very well, showing the best side of each character, Jonathan's kindness and Dio's begrudging respect to his rival. The two had a volatile relationship to say the least, with a battle that almost seemed like it would never end. The evil of Dio managed to push Jonathan to become the best person he could be and above all else was believable, with Dio's hatred allowing me to be sympathetic towards his circumstances. All in all, this is a perfect start to the Joestar's long battle against Dio and his legacy, with the relationship bringing out some excellent characterization for the both of them.